loves, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about this little Hibino. So this is relatively new for me. I've used the Midori products over the last couple of years and I really like the Midori products. I've always talked about how using them as a real planner, like a day-to-day planner like I do with everything else that I've used, is really hard considering, you know, just the aesthetics of the Midori, but I'm determined this year to really try it out. One of the things that kind of turned me away from the planner last year alongside using the paper was the fit. The fit for the Hibino is really hard. If you don't have a good cover, it will deter you from using the planner, at least for me that is. I know a lot of you who are using the Hibino have also tried the Moterm A6. And I actually learned about the Moterm A6 from one of you. And so I went out and I got the A6. But before I got the A6, I had originally purchased for the 2023 Hibino this Salty Katie jelly cover, which is designed for the Hobonichi A6 5-year. Now, I know that she said that this wouldn't fit, and she's absolutely right. I know that there are people who say the Hibino fit in this. I made it fit because I made it a really tight fit, and I kind of stretched this out so that it fit. However, she's right. This doesn't really fit the Hibino like most covers designed for A6. It doesn't really fit the Hibino as well. So I used this jelly cover for a little while and then I kind of got tired of this and I ended up purchasing the Moterm, and I got the olive Moterm cover, and that cover fit the Hibino. Although it was a really tight fit, it did fit. However, I decided to go back with the Midori Hibino this year, and I decided to give Moterm another go because I was considering for myself, you know, I'm going to get a new cover for it and I wanted to do like this contrasting look, and I really wanted to go all out this year. Okay, so when I got my Moterm cover, I also noticed that the fit was not the same as last year's. I even tried this Hibino in the olive cover that I had the 2023 version in. If you're getting some overcast of my son, yeah, he's in there fighting bedtime, so just ignore that. But nonetheless, I did try this Hibino in the olive cover for this book, and it did not fit as you know, as last year's, or this year rather, fit. I almost thought that maybe the book might be a slight bit bigger than last year's or 2023 version. However, it didn't fit, and you'll see what I mean when I talk about it. It buckled really bad. Now, I watched someone's video recently. I was wondering if anyone else was having the same issues fitting the Midori inside of the Moterm cover like I was having. So I watched a couple of videos and I came across the same lady who basically introduced me to the idea of the A6 Hibino fitting into an A6 Plus Moterm, and I saw that it was buckling in hers as well as it was for a few others. Now, she did not put the front cover into the Moterm because it buckled too much. I tried leaving it in the cover overnight and it still didn't smooth itself out, and so it deterred me from wanting to use the cover, and also it kind of made me feel like I didn't want to use the book because I couldn't find a cover for it. And although a cover is not necessary, it's just something that I like. I just like to house my nice books and nice things. So there. But I will show you I did do a planner lineup video for 2024. So this is the Moterm cover that I picked up for this year, and this is the mustard color, and I want to show you. And I know there is someone somewhere on the interweb that is going to cringe at what I do to this cover of this Hibino, but I assure you it is a book and it will survive. Okay, so when I first got this cover, let me just talk about that I'm not a big Moterm fan. I've owned a couple of Moterms in life, and I just talk about the fact that I don't really care for the pebbling. I don't really like the pebbling on a lot of planners, so it's not just Moterm, but I'm really just not a Moterm lover. And then if you can kind of see that this doesn't really lay flat. I don't know if the camera really picks up on that, but this doesn't really lay flat. Even when I hold it up like this, it doesn't really lay flat at all. Like holding it out like this, the back pocket kind of like just bubbles up, and when you push up against it, it does that. It does not lay flat at all. So it kind of just sticks up. So that's why I thought maybe I would have had a defective cover, because of what this cover was already doing. And also, I wish my son would go to bed. Give me 1 second. Okay, parenting over. Back to this. But nonetheless, I thought that I might have had a defective cover because the way that the Hibino was fitting in here. So I'm going to put this in. I know what someone's going to probably say. Let me go ahead and take out the blotting sheet. I know what someone's probably going to say. Turn the book on itself and put the book into the cover easy. I want to put this book in the way that I want to put this book in. Will be okay. Everything will be okay. Okay? So I know someone will say, turn it this way, and that works. I put it in how I want to put it in. But for this sake, I am going to put it this way because this cover is really tight and I don't want to damage the book. Okay. So, as you can see, at a first glance, it fits, right? When you go to cover or close it, you can see that I didn't straighten it out. Let's straighten it out and let's try to close it now. Now we're not closing. You know why? Because this is too tight. It's too tight. Like it's pulling. I don't know if you can really see very well where it's pulling, but you can almost feel the cover from this point. You can feel that it's bent like right in here. And I've stuck my hands in there. I've smoothed it out. I've pushed it. I've done lots of things, but you can actually see that this does not fit. Now, someone might say, maybe you got the A6 version and not the A6 Plus. I went back, I double checked to make sure that I purchased the A6 Plus. I also went and checked the olive one that I purchased last year. Also A6 Plus, also doing the same thing, right? Okay. So with all of that being said about the Moterm cover, I went online looking, and I came across something else. So this is what I came across. We're going to do a little bit of comparison here, and with the hopes of sharing this for some of you Midori users out there, I came across this brand called Ox Night. Not sure if anyone has shared it. I didn't see any videos on it, so I'm going to do a share or show and tell here. Comes in a dust bag, just like the Moterm. Packaged just like the Moterm. It's kind of odd, actually, that the packaging is relatively the same. Minus, I don't think the Moterm had this on it, but as you can see, let's open it up. As you can see, they are relatively the same planner, right? Looking at them head straight, they are literally side by side, the same planner. Okay. Now, there are several differences to this planner. Okay. I also noticed that the strap is longer on this planner than it is on the Moterm. I'll show you the comparisons between that, but let's go through the specs first. The strap is longer on this. This planner also lays flat. Like when the book is in here, it lays flat. Probably won't lay flat at the very moment because there's nothing in it pushing up against the spine. But when the book is in here, it actually lays really, really flat. The interior is literally the same as the Moterm. I mean, it's the same everywhere, down to the stitching, down to the pockets, the number of pockets, the bookmarks, the elastic pen loop, the back pocket. I mean, it's the same everywhere. There's nothing different between the Oxnite planner, which is this, and the Moterm outside of the fact that this lays relatively flat. This is really flat. Do you see? When I push up against the spine, here, when I push up against the spine, it lays flatter, right? It's flatter. It's flatter all the way across. I can rub my hands across and it's flatter. When I rub my hands across this, there's buckling. I'm buckling. I've got to pull really hard. I'm buckling everywhere. Okay, so bookmarks are literally the same. The only difference is I believe the Moterm is actually double lined. So by double lined, I mean there's probably 2 liners in here. So like a liner to cover, a liner with the stitching and then a liner to cover the stitching so it looks seamless, right? On here, the inside of this looks seamless, but then if you look in here, you can actually see the stitching. You can actually see where they stitched. This, you can't see that. So there is an extra liner to cover the stitching. Okay, so that's one difference. Second difference is Moterm uses black bookmarks with the same color leather tab at the bottom. This one has blue, as you know, the planner is, or the planner cover is blue with the leather bookmarks matching the cover at the bottom. Okay, pen loops are still the same. Now, this is where people are going to probably want to know the most info. Laying it down together, it almost looks seamless, right? It almost looks like they are the same size. However, you can also see the blue peeking out. You can also see that the pen loop is longer, like it's visibly longer. Standing up, side by side, you can see that this blue cover is a smidge longer. It lays a little bit flatter than the Moterm cover, and this is me holding it out together. It's doing a whole lot of better than the Moterm. Okay, so let's put the Hibino in there because this will make or break this cover, right? It can have all of the same specs as the Moterm, but if it doesn't fit, it's almost like not even worthy, right? Because that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking for a planner cover to fit the Midori Hibino, right? Okay, so someone's gonna look at me and say, why did you put that in there that way? Let me do me. Okay, all right. It fits. It fits. There's no buckling. There's lots of room. That was an easy close, okay? That was a very easy close from front to back. There's even extra room in here. And when you lay this down, it lays flat. It lays flat. Pick it up. You can see it. It lays flat. This even goes on the second button. It does not do that in the Moterm. Does not go on the second button. I even put, here, let me move lots of things because I want to show you. So this is my setup, right? I have the Hobonichi Weekly supplement there in the front. And then I usually have a Moleskine book here in the back. All right, let me just show you. All right, it still has a lot of space. It's very roomy, okay? It's not pulling. I'm on the second loop there, not the first. This would be the first, right? This one right here would be the first. Closes with lots of open space because the strap is kind of roomy. Put it on a second loop, showing you. Second loop, still lots of space, extra roomy. I like this. It feels really good. It feels better than the Moterm. They still feel the same. They do feel the same. But what I mean by feel better is this feels roomy, like this was made for this, okay? There's no pulling, there's no buckling, there's no none of that. This just fits, okay? This fits. I'm so happy. I'm happy because I was considering getting another Salty Katie jelly cover because she was actually coming out this weekend with jelly, or is it Black Friday? Black Friday. She was actually coming out with jelly covers to fit the Hibino and also to fit the weekly supplement. Now, I don't know if a cover on cover option will work with this because as you can see here, I got all this stuff in the way. As you can see, you know, there's some space in there, but I don't know if there's a lot of space in there for a jelly cover. Now, this little weekly supplement, you probably can put a jelly cover on that and then stick it in here. Don't quote me on that though, because I don't know. I don't have one. And maybe I'll get one from Salty Katie just to try it out, just to see. But nonetheless, it actually fits. Like, there's no buckling. And I've got my supplemental books in there. There's no buckling. This lays flat. This strap is long. It will accommodate a little bit of bulk. It will accommodate the chunkiness that I have going on here. It's beautiful, okay? With the Moterm, I'm only going to be able to get those books plus the Hibino on the first strap, okay? Not the second strap, because then we're getting too tight. It's too tight. It's already really tight. So this does not fit. Scrap that. Moterm does not fit. It does not fit. Okay. So I wanted to do a quick video for you. Hopefully it is a very helpful, useful video for you. Here, I will leave, let's do this. I will leave the box up here with the name so you guys can check it out. I got this off of Amazon, just like how you get the Moterms and stuff. I'll leave it up there. I'll let you guys be the deciders of what you decide to try. If you want to stick with Moterm, by all means, stick with Moterm. You want to try out Oxnite, try out Oxnite. Moterm has more color options, I will tell you that. Oxnite has a few color options, not many. They do have some neutrals, so if you're not big on color selection, then Oxnite might be right up your alley because they just have a couple of colors that, you know, neutral, a couple fun colors, but outside of that, it's relatively a good planner. All right, you guys, that's what I wanted to share with you, and I hope that it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in another planner related video. Bye guys.